welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be on this makeup look that I'm wearing right now. It is definitely geared towards summertime. I was inspired by, like golds and tan skin and just like curly, beachy waves and stuff like that. So I wanted to share this look with you guys today. It is very simple and very easy to achieve, I think, It's just kind of basic and stuff like that. It does make your eyes stand out. So if you do have like blue eyes, green eyes, even brown eyes, I feel like the golds and the browns and stuff like that will really make your eyes stand out during the summertime. This is definitely going to be like probably one of my go-to looks during the summertime. I absolutely love this lid color. It's by Bellapierre Cosmetics in the shade Celebration. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful, especially during summertime. This is probably going to be like my go-to pigment. So it's just very bronzy, very glowy. I did a nude lip like I always do, but I just thought it paired perfect with this look. So yeah, if you guys are curious about my tan and all that stuff like that, I am thinking about doing like a tanning routine, even though there's like millions of tanning routines here on the internet and on YouTube. But I don't know, if you guys are curious and you want to see like my tanning tips and tricks and my tanning routine, then just let me know in the comments below and I would love to do that for you guys. Also, I've been thinking of doing like a summer essentials type of video, so like stuff that I love during the summertime and that kind of stuff. So if you would be interested in that as well, let me know down below. So yeah, I'm done talking. I love you guys and I will see you in my next video. So yeah, let's get on with the tutorial. So the first thing I'm taking is my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. You guys know I use this in the beginning of every single video. Kind of gets repetitive, but just use whatever you guys have to prime your eyes. And then I'm going to set that with my MAC Studio Fix powder in NC15 so it's not tacky when we go in with shadow. The first shadow I'm picking up is Makeup Geek Chickadee. It's a really beautiful kind of burnt orange, and I'm going to blend that into my crease with a big fluffy brush, just back and forth in windshield wiper motions and little baby circular motions. So the next shade I'm going in with is Makeup Geek Frappe. It's kind of like a burnt red brown, and I'm going to focus this with a Morphe M441 right into the crease of my eye, just blending back and forth in windshield wiper motions. I still want that chickadee to show through this shade, so I'm blending it a little bit into my crease rather than above my crease. Then I'm going to go in with Coco Bear. This is again by Makeup Geek on a Morphe M443. I use these shades all the time in my videos. They're just like my go-to shades. I absolutely love them. And I'm going to focus this shade mainly on the outer corner of my eye, and then whatever I have left on the brush, I will start blending towards the inner corner. And then as always, I go back in with a more fluffy brush and just help blend all those shades together so there's no harsh lines and everything is blending out. I'm going to pick up this shadow by MAC. It's called Mulch. It's kind of like a deep brown, and I'm going to do the same thing that I pretty much did with Coco Bear, and I'm just focusing that on the outer edge just to give a little bit more definition and smokiness to the outer corner, and then again go back in with that original blending brush. Now I'm going in with this pigment by Bellapierre Cosmetics. It's in the color Celebration. And I am so obsessed with this pigment, you guys. Oh my god, like look at this color. It just screams summer to me. Like I am so obsessed with this pigment, you have no idea. I did spray my brush a little bit with Fix Plus just to give it that more metallic look. I always make sure that when I do spray my brush with Fix Plus, I wait for the pigment on my lid to completely dry before I go in and blend any harsh lines. Otherwise, you're going to kind of blend the pigment, and it's going to be a sloppy hot mess. So just make sure that it is dry before you go and blend. And then again, in with that fluffy brush to make sure no harsh lines. So now I'm going to take my L'Oreal Carbon Black Mascara and I'll just apply a thin coat of mascara to my lashes. Of course, this look does not call for lashes. Probably on a daily basis, if I do wear this look, I am not going to be popping on false lashes every day. So if you're not a lash girl, skip it and just, go with mascara. So now I'm just going to apply some highlight to my brow bone. This is MAC Shroom. And then I'm going to go back in with that fluffy brush to make sure everything is blended out. I'm taking a face wipe just to clean up any fallout underneath my eyes. And then moving on to the skin, I'm going to prime with my Too Faced Hangover RX primer. This is a really nice kind of moisturizing primer. I absolutely love this for the summertime. And then I'm going to apply another primer. This is the Porefessional by Benefit, just in my problem areas like around my nose and my cheek area, just to fill in those pores there. For foundation, I'm going to mix my MAC Studio Fix in NC25, my Estee'Lauder Double Wear in the shade Tawny, and I'm going to mix in a little bit of the CoverFX enhancer drops. I use the shade Celestial. This is going to give such a beautiful glow to my foundation. Because I am more on the combination oily side, I do like to use like matte foundations and full coverage foundations, but I love mixing in like a highlight with my foundation to give a little bit more of a dewy kind of look. But it's still gonna make my foundation last all day because it is a matte foundation. So you guys know that I always love to apply my foundation with a brush, but I always go back in with a sponge, so I'm using the Real Technique sponge and just adding a little bit more coverage to my problem areas, and then I always go over it just to make sure that I'm picking up any excess product that might be laying on the skin. Concealer, I'm going to use my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I love this concealer. I've been using it a lot recently ever since I ran out of my Tarte Shape Tape. It's a beautiful concealer and it blends really easily on the skin, and I noticed that it doesn't really crease that much on my under eyes. So I'm blending that out with my sponge, and then I'm swatting a fly because it was bugging me, so you know, first world problems. Then I'm going to highlight other areas of my face like my nose, my chin, and on my forehead just to balance out that highlight so everything is kind of blending together. Because we aren't glowing enough, I'm going to add some liquid highlight to the tops of my cheekbones. I love these highlights from CoverFX. I think they're absolutely beautiful and they blend so nice on the skin. But I will say that if you leave it on your hand for too long, it's going to start drying. And then if you try to apply it to your cheeks when it's already drying, it's kind of hard to blend out a little bit. But you know, if you just immediately tap it on and then blend it out with a sponge or your fingers, I find that it's very easy to blend, so that's just a tip. And yeah, I'm just applying that to my cheekbones, and then I apply a little bit down the center of my nose and blend that out with a sponge as well. So now I'm going in with my Becca highlight in the shade Opal, and I'm going to set down that highlight. I love layering highlights on my skin because I feel like it looks so beautiful. So if you go in and you layer like a cream highlight or a liquid highlight and then you go over it with a powder highlight, I feel like it just makes you look beaming and glowy, and it just looks so beautiful. And then I'm going to go in with my Studio Fix powder in NC15 and just set right underneath my eyes. But I'm kind of avoiding that highlight area since that is already set with the highlight. And then I'm going to apply a little bit of that on my chin, around my nose, and in between my forehead because it is a lighter kind of powder and I want to give that a little bit more of a highlight effect. Now I'm taking my Studio Fix powder in NC25 and I'm just going to set the rest of my face makeup. Because I am more combination oily, I do always set my makeup with a powder. This is a powder foundation, so this is going to give me a little bit more coverage, which is what I like. But whatever you do with your foundation, you do that. But I always love setting my face makeup. Especially during summertime, you don't want anything melting off and kind of looking, you know, a little oily. Onto my contour, I'm going to use my Hoola Benefit Bronzer, and I'm just going to contour the hollows of my cheeks and then a little bit on my forehead just to add some definition and a little bit more of a bronzy kind of glow to my skin. For bronzer, I'm taking my Milani Baked Bronzer in the shade Soleil, and I'm using this on my cheekbones and my forehead just to warm up my complexion. I love this bronzer. I think it's so beautiful. I noticed in the pan that it does have sparkle in it, but the sparkle and the glitter does not transfer onto your face, which is a bonus because I personally do not like sparkle or anything like that in my bronzers or highlights, so that's a good thing. So I'm basically just warming up my complexion and bronzing my skin pretty much everywhere. And then I'm going to take my blush. This is MAC Sunbasque. This is kind of like my go-to blush right now. I absolutely love it. It does have kind of like a sheen to it, which gives like a really pretty kind of glow to your cheeks. So I'm just applying that on my cheekbones just to warm up my complexion a little bit more. And then I'm going to bake my face. I am using the RCMA No Color Powder, but I did put it in a Dermal Blend packaging because I just don't personally like the packaging of the RCMA, but I love the powder, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to bake underneath my contour and leave that on for a little bit to, you know, bake it up and stuff. Onto the eyes, I'm going to line my waterline with MAC Costa Riche. It's a beautiful kind of brown eyeliner. I absolutely love this eyeliner, especially during the summertime. I feel like it's so beautiful. Not like your typical kind of black. It just gives a little bit something different to your eyes, and it really makes them stand out. And then I'm going back in with that Mulch shade just to buff underneath my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take some Coco Bear by Makeup Geek on a pencil brush and just buff those two shadows together just to give a little bit more of a smoky effect on the lower lash line and help blend out that liner. And then I always go in with a fluffy brush to make sure that everything's blended out. So now I'm taking Shroom by MAC and I'm applying that with a pencil brush. I did spray a little bit of it with Fix Plus just to give it more of a metallic sheen. And I'm applying that to the inner corner of my eye just to brighten up the look even more. And then I'm going back in with my Voluminous Carmine Black Mascara and applying a thin coat to my lower lashes just to finish off the eye look. So now I'm just taking a big fluffy brush and just blending out that bake that we had, and you can see how blended the contour and everything looks. Then I'm going to touch up my highlight because, you know, I wasn't glowing enough, obviously, so I just added more. And applying some to my nose, cheekbones, and chin. Moving on to lips, I'm going to use my Prolong lip pencil in the shade Morning Coffee. It's a beautiful kind of brown lip liner from MAC. And I'm slightly overlining my lips just a little bit on the top to match my bottom lip, but of course that's personal preference. Whatever you do with your lips is, you know, fine. Lipstick, I'm going in with MAC's HoneyLove. This is one of my favorite lipsticks ever. It's a beautiful kind of nude, peachy pink kind of color. And I'm just applying that all over my lips, and then I'm going to go in with some highlight and apply that right to the center just to give more of a pouty appearance. Then to top it off, I'm going in with NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Fortune Cookie. You guys know I pretty much have used this lip gloss in the past like 3 videos of mine, but it's just my favorite. I'm sorry, and it's affordable, so that's good. Then to make it last, I'm going to apply some setting spray. This is by Milani. And here's the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! We are not glowing enough. Yes! I can't breathe. Let's get this together. Hi guys. Perfect for summertime. I'm dropping everything. We're feeling ourselves today in this video, so that's nice.